Okay, cool. Right, this is my first Let's Play. I'll play in the Stanley Parable. I'm gonna change the fucking name. Well, actually, we'll just play it. Fuck it. But basically, it shouldn't be called the Stanley Parable. It should be called the absolute pile of bollocks, nonsense, shit, bollocks, waste of time, tagged on achievements, wank, arse, tits. And that's kind of being bold. I've played through it like a few times. I'm playing through it again to see if it actually gives us a different ending or any sort of satisfaction apart from a shit storyline. It's about as good as the film The Adjustment Bureau, but without half the effort put in. Basically, you do what the computer says, otherwise you end up back at the start, and then you play the game again, and then that is it. That's about it, really. And the story's shit. Did I say the story's shit? Yeah, the story's shit. It's the most linear. It's like watching the fucking Matrix Revolutions or whatever it is, where it just goes into bollocks. But that was better again. Ah, lady boys. Where's my game? Stanley did a wank. Blah 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 blah. That's source. Auto detect. Oh, it's detected nothing, has it? What's that? That's nothing. Yeah. Where the fuck is my game, man? Okay, let's go. Right. Dun, dun, dun. I should already have sorted this before. Never mind. Source. Dun, dun, dun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, we're dancing, right. Let's go to volume down, because it's really fucking loud. Music volume as well, because that's fucking horseshit. Actually, no, it's fine. Let's begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Well, it makes him a loser already, so...
Was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
By the looks of it, it was a
Never in
Saturday.
all his years at
He's
the
a
company
spastic and
had
just
this happened.
went to work still.
This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I wonder if I can just sit here for like 2 hours and see what happens. I'm not gonna, but... I'll probably get an achievement. Since you get an achievement for not playing the game in 5 years, that shows there's no gameplay. Okay, right, I'll get up, I'll move, okay. I'm not even sure I can actually click anything.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Can't jump.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm sure there's an
No
achievement for
matter
not
how
being able to
hard
jump or
Stanley
something.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Did I turn that off or... I don't know. Fuck it. Don't care. No matter how hard Stanley tried to find another ending to the game,
Stanley went around
He
touching
has no
every
choice.
little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
because the story is shit and this game is made by cunts. Why is everything I click on sounds like I'm typing, like, horseshit? Yes, close that door, fuck that. I'm going back to my office, like, actually no, it's bollocks. I'm literally just trying to click on everything here. I can shut computers down, not done that before. What's in here? Nothing. I can just see things, but I can't actually do anything. Excellent. 420. See what I can go in here.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office, because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Yeah, this guy needs to fuck off. He's annoying us already.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna go on the one on the right, but I'm pretty sure... it just fucks the story up and then you start again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Perhaps you want another finger up the arsehole, mate.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I don't think I've actually
I'm
been
not
this way
your
before.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. But in his eagerness to prove that he's
Okay,
in
kill me,
control
Sal.
of the story and no
Specsavers.
one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, that's an end I've not seen before. Let's see if I can do the same thing and see if I can get any further. Where do I start? Right, back in the office, right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Missed your mum.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I like the guy's voice.
Stanley was so bad
just
at
like
following
an
directions,
annoying version
it's
of Stranger
incredible
Than
he wasn't
Fiction.
5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
Okay, I'm
Your
not
chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Are you shitting us? Oh, okay.
That's her, Stanley.
Haven't seen this before.
You need to be the one.
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
Okay, it's getting weird
Come
again.
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Also, that's your lass.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Really? Do I have to actually...
Stanley is quite
Okay,
a
I
boring
pressed A.
fellow. He has a job that demands
Okay,
nothing
maybe I
of
don't like
him,
this game because
and
it
every
fucks
button
with
that
us.
he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
No, it's mocking us. What if I don't want to press 3?
Look at him there.
I pressed
pushing
2 there,
buttons,
nothing
doing
happened, so I pressed
exactly
3.
what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Should we
Now
call it the Stanley
he's going
game for
home.
cunts
Now
by
he's coming
cunt
back
who
to work.
makes you feel like a
One might
twat?
even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen his life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers,
fallen
his
asleep, I'm
boss,
not even paying
everyone
attention.
in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Right, okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered.
It's
what
feeding
lay
us
behind
bollocks
the
upon
door.
bollocks. I
The mere
want some
thought that his
fun.
decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
It's like an audiobook with no point.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous
Can't go
round
out this
room
door again.
with
No.
monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Well, at
And
least I
down
found a
another was
different
game with
ending.
a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Whoa,
The longer he
trippy.
spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Should I do it? I'll not do it and see what happens. Actually, no, fuck it, why not?
You see? Can you just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Right, I'm not pressing it this time. I'll give it a good minute. Right, either I'm just not waiting long enough. Well, I'm really impatient, so I'm going to press 2.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay, what the fuck happened there? Okay, am I starting again? Is that the crack? Yeah, you may as well wank off a dog instead of play this game. It's
All of
frustrating.
his
There's no
co-workers
point
were
to it.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
It's like
missed a memo.
reading a book which doesn't know what the ending is. So it's like telling you the end of the story, whereas it doesn't know what it's doing itself.
When Stanley came to a
It's
set
like a
of
really
2 open
shit
doors,
version of
he
Heavy
entered the
Rain,
door
and I really
he
like
had
Heavy Rain. You basically narrate it through different bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. In fact, I'm going to turn it off now. That's enough. I've got another ending. I'll play it again in like 10 months. Goodbye.